Warning. This video contains spoilers for the new games Pokemon X and Y on Nintendo 3DS. If you've not yet reached the point in the game that this video covers, proceed at your own risk. Pokemon rules.
Hi guys, welcome to the Pokemon X and Y vlogs. I'm Kells.
I'm Alex. And what? Are we? Are you? Are we wearing the same?
We're wearing the same clothes as we wore
last week.
We're still wearing the same clothes we were wearing 5 minutes ago when we recorded the other vlog. Weirdo. So it's champion time.
It's time for the champ. Time to fight the champ.
You take the door at the top of the main area.
The door towards the champ.
And there's an elevator.
The elevator to the champ.
And it will take you up to a beautiful tower. It's like a stained glass world with beautiful flowing curtains.
Stained glass for the champ.
And you're just like, oh, it's so peaceful. And then,
oh,
the champion is Diantha!
The lady from the whole game!
Who knew? I knew. Very easy.
Very easy.
Very, very easy.
Very cool. I like her.
Yeah, cool. She's a cool champion. Yeah.
She's like a gracious, beautiful French movie star.
She's another lady champion, which is pretty cool.
There's are there more equal?
There's Cynthia, Iris, Diantha. Is there another girl champion? I think those are the 3.
Oh, so there's 4. 4 men, 3 women. Not bad.
A little different if you consider remakes and stuff. Right? Because there's Alder, and then in Emerald it's different too. Right? I can't remember. Anyway, no, it's Sinnoh that it's different. Anyway, so she's a beautiful fairy
Cynthia's
queen.
not the champion in Platinum?
Oh yeah, she is. I'm sorry. I was thinking of 3rd gen.
Welcome back. You
It's
get
been
an
a while.
awesome cutscene when you do it.
Oh yeah. Okay, so basically she's a beautiful fairy queen, and she is like, ooh, I'm gonna fight you, and she's got a pretty awesome team too.
Yeah, she's got a solid team.
All Gen 6s, except for one which is a Mega, which is kind of
It's Gen 6 because it's a Mega.
So we got Hawlucha, Tyrantrum, Aurorus, Gorgeist, I'm reading it right off here, Gudra, and Mega Gardevoir. So
dang, it's a tough fight. If you aren't ready, it's a tough fight.
it's time to duel.
What is that?
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Bad reference. That's how you do it. You reference it from the wrong thing. It's like those posters where it's like Gandalf. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? I don't. It's like use the Force, Gandalf, Star Trek, or something like that.
No. It's a picture. It's a picture of Gandalf, and it says do or do not. There is no try. And then it says what's the 3rd thing?
Star Trek.
No. Dumbledore.
Oh, great.
This is a quote from Dumbledore. Very funny.
Hilarious.
Very funny. Anyway, we defeat her.
You win.
Yay! And now it's time to be a champion.
And you get to see your little cutscene
yeah, she
of all
takes you
your
up,
buddies.
and then she's like, "Oh, Professor Sycamore's getting Lumio City ready for you," and you're like, "Wait, what?" And then she's like, "Nothing. Let's go." And in my mind, at least.
Let's go.
So anyway, and then after it's all done, there's this awesome cutscene. It says a few days later, a crowd of people gathered in Lumio City to celebrate all of your friends and you.
Which I didn't realize that becoming the champion was such a huge
It's
national
never been a
to-do.
deal. It's never been a deal. There's a huge parade, and Professor Sycamore is like, "Yay! Look at you and all your friends," and he gives you the honor of Kalos.
You're on a stage in front of crowds of people in the
It
streets.
feels kind of nice to be acknowledged for my deeds for once.
You also saved the damn world.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, back in the other games, you've saved them from catastrophic
I know, but this was
events.
a guy tried to shoot the world with a gun.
But what about in Ruby and Sapphire when they're literally gonna either drown or magma-ize everything?
I didn't make these games.
Well, you never got thanked in those ones, so it was nice
did.
to finally get some recognition. To be like, oh, there's a parade. Yes,
Yeah.
I do deserve this parade. I'm a freaking child, and I just saved the entire world.
But in the most baller move ever, guess who shows up in the crowd but Trainer AZ. He's like, it's time to battle.
He's like, I want to battle you. Actually, you're just celebrating, and then it pans over sideways, and he's there, and you're like,
You literally go he's
a
like,
little sprite.
it's time I want to battle. I imagine that Trainer AZ is Mickey Rourke, so that's why my
All right.
that's why my voice is like, it's time to battle.
Okay, so the battle just starts, and you don't even have like time to do anything, but you have your same team that you did with the champion, and like
it's
they're
awesome.
healed, and
it's a cinematic battle.
It's a very cool battle, and like he's got a strange team. He's got a Torkoal, a Sigilif, and a Golurk, which who knows?
Maybe there's some significance to it. I have no idea what it is.
But I don't know. Like turtles live for a really long time. That's all I can think
And
of.
it's a ghost.
Golurk is a rock.
Sigilif is undefinable, and there's nothing in the real world that is anywhere close to him, so...
Anyway, though, you battle him, you finish the battle, and he's like, thank you. I finally feel free, and he's like, I'm not the man I once was. I know that, like, hate is not the answer.
Evil's gone from my heart.
And then, I can't say it or I'm gonna cry.
I want you to say it because I want this to happen right now. It's gonna be great.
And then...
He's like...
And then there's like a sound, and it pans up to the sky, and there's beautiful light, and all of a sudden you see in the sky. I can't. I'm gonna make a fool of myself.
No, please.
All of a sudden you see in the sky the floette,
Yeah.
and it starts to come down.
So the floette has the flower that it's like he's a unique floette.
Yes.
And so you know for sure that it's the very same.
Well, also you like look at his face and he's like flabbergasted, like the sorrow of 3,000 years of not seeing his like favorite Pokemon in the entire world. And he like reaches out to it and she like floats down into his hands and he just falls into his knees and starts crying and you're just like, oh my god. I was just like, oh. I'd never seen anything like it in a Pokemon game. No Pokemon game has ever like tugged at my heartstrings like that. And I was just like, oh my god. Crazy. This is stupid. I'm sorry.
So he's crying. Professor Sycamore's like, she was waiting for you to let's go.
No. You talk normal. Professor Sycamore doesn't sound like that. That's undistinguishable. You're not even doing a French accent well. She was waiting for him all this time for him to let go of his hatred.
So let's go of your hatred.
And wow, this is heavy, Doc.
Wow.
Did you know?
You got me. Did you know gaming? So we pan up and you see that very same fletchling that came in
to your window,
like in the very beginning of the game, and that is it. That is the end of Pokemon X and Y.
It's quite a beautiful ending. That little fletchling being like. And like flies away. It's like, oh my gosh, full circle.
Full circle. And over the credits, there's a poem that happens, and it's good because if you guys saw our Hop-Up episode with Jaywitz, this is kind of like the thing that we were talking about. Is this like the thesis of this poem? And so now, ladies and gentlemen, I will step off the camera, and I will lower the lights a little, and Kels will deliver.
Oh, that's what we're doing. Okay.
A dramatic reading.
This is like, okay, all right.
The eyes of the world are on you.
Oh my god.
Here we go. I'm gonna just dim the lights a little. Here we go. Look at that. Nice little poetic move.
Look a little. Okay.
It's okay. I'm gonna go.
Okay, no.
Little snappies.
Here's the poem at the end of the credits. It says, "You and I were born right here in the same world. For this one brief life, we're beneath the same sky. The great flow of time, the wide expanse of space. We are lucky enough to share this lifetime we get. We can gain more if we give. By taking, we only lose. Let us make this a new age where we show our gratitude. There's a fragile bud of hope blooming in each of our hearts. Don't you take that away. Our dreams are meant to be shared. Let it grow, let it live. Let us see what it will bring. When we share our love, we make a beautiful world. Search it out and find the way. The point where we can all meet. The point where we're the same. There it lies, the future we seek. Start from there, and then we'll forge a world where we all can be free. Free to dream and free to smile. Free to be who we will be. Let's make sure we create a world of our hopes and dreams. In our brief lives, we've managed to meet. Treasure this gift, this precious time that we have. In our brief lives, we've managed to meet. Treasure this gift, this precious time that we have." The end.
Yay!
Oh, the lights are back.
The lights are back. Alex is back.
It's neat. It's a really neat poem. The cool thing about it is that it comes up in all the languages that the game is in. And regardless of what language you chose at the beginning, you will get the poem in every language, which is neat because it's kind of like the whole poem it's about like, let's all be together
in
the world of Pokemon. And
it's
then,
great.
Like,
it's awesome.
It was really neat. It was like a really neat like thing. And that's the end of this.
Yeah, it was really just
game.
their thesis for the whole game. It was great. And we can kind of use this to segue into what we're going to do instead of questions this week, which is that we are going to review the game.
Give a little review. I mean, this whole thing has been kind of like a review, but
it's been like a very, very meticulous review. But now we're going to do the little Metacritic style
short version
blurb. So for you, what's your review of this game?
Okay, Pokemon X is the one that I played. So Pokemon X is a beautiful game and has made fantastic use of the franchise that we know and love. I'm trying to like
writing a review.
I'm trying to really be into it. Very cool new Pokemon, very wide variety of Pokemon that you can catch and train. It's made it a lot more easy for new players to get into the game, but some of the puzzles feel like they're a little bit too easy, and the game on the whole is probably the easiest Pokemon game that exists right now. So on that whole note, as far as plot-wise, you don't really play the Pokemon games for their beautiful plot, but they did have a really nice ending. But like overall, there are some like weird plot issues that it has, which
does.
they always do. But I give it probably an 8.
8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah. Pretty solid.
All right, I'm gonna jump into my review.
All right, you better be as good as mine.
It's gonna be great. So here's what I think of this game. I think that this game is definitely the most forward-looking game in the series for sure. Like they're like trying to really like incorporate like things that we've been doing on our own for a long time and try and make it part of the experience and try and figure out ways that they can like make those super complex things user-friendly for us. But at the same time, well, I'm not done saying what I want to say about the first part. Like, in addition to, like, mechanics-based things, just things like the caves and, like, where you go and, like, the it's almost like postmodern Pokemon. Like, it's, like, very, like, referential to a lot of the different things that are, like, famous about Pokemon. Like, Zubats being in the caves and, like, you know, like, the caves being, like, really annoying to get through.
Kind of
like,
meta in that way.
Yeah. And, like, for example, like, in this game, like, the new bat for this game, like, instead of being, like, another lame thing, like, not to say that Swoobat and Woobat are lame, but, like, they're another thing that you're not, like, that's the coolest Pokemon in the game. But in this game, the bat that you see, the new bat, while there still are Zubats, the bat that you see that's the new bat is, like, evolves into, like, one of the most popular new cool-looking Pokemon.
Zubat, new bat.
Yeah, and then there was that cool cave where it like goes over your shoulder.
Yeah, that was neat.
And like even just like moving around in the game is easier. Like you can like skate around and there's like fun tricks to do that make walking a long distance like that much more enjoyable.
Oh yeah, and then that whole breeding route, which is like specifically for like hatching your eggs, that's like the longest straight route.
The breeding route's great. Breeding itself has been cleaned up. Like all the like nonsense that was like unnecessary has been trimmed out of breeding. It's still like very like time consuming, but it's so much less time consuming and there's a lot more like you're always doing something for a reason now. The Destiny Knot, all that stuff is like very great. But on the flip side of that, like, oh, and before I get to the negatives, like also like the fact that it looks backwards too. It's like a very backwards looking game. It's simultaneously the most forward looking and the most backwards looking. And you see things like there's Pokemon that haven't been in the game in a really long time that are in this game. You get the starters, you get Mewtwo again, and like the game feels like Red and Blue. It's like an echo of Red and Blue in a way, and it's supposed to be sort of like another starting point for the series, and I love that about it. And I love that there's more Pokemon on every route, and it really feels like bam, like 3DS. It's like a very like taking advantage of the new platform. The online features are amazing. Like they are very, 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 very much an improvement over
last gen.
Yeah, I would say that since maybe Gen 2, Gen 6 has had the most like complete like revamping things that have been just like. That said, there are still a bunch of things about this game that feel super dated and a bunch of plot points and things that just feel very, very, very like redundant and very like, why am I doing it? Like, why am I like looking for this dude's dog in his yard, in his mansion? But I mean, you know, I've said it a million times on here about like battle mechanics that I think are just like unnecessary. Like, why can't I see what moves are super effective? Why can't I see what type the Pokemon is? And I get that there are like,
why is there still a deposit withdraw function?
Yeah, like what? Like, can't I just like access my PC from anywhere? Like, why not? Why if I have
well,
fly?
Too easy.
No, it doesn't. Like, if I can fly to the PC, why can't I just press a button and the PC's there? it was perfect. Like the Holocaster could have been like the smartphone that's also your Pokemon PC. It could have been perfect, but it wasn't. And so I think there's still a long way to go before Pokemon is like as efficient as it could possibly be without changing what type of game it is. I think it still very much feels like Pokemon. I think it's one of the most like subtle new directions that a region has taken while still being one of the most like insular and like solid ones. Like Unova's not super solid. Like it doesn't have it doesn't have a super solid feel to it. You know, like I know it was designed to be like the United States, but it doesn't like
New York actually specifically.
Yeah, like you can't like think back and like be like, wow, that's the aesthetic of Unova. And same thing with Sinnoh. Both were like not bad at all, but like just very safe.
And we talked about this like last episode too.
It's very safe in the way that they like interpreted whatever art style they were going for. But Kalos is very like everything's like fairy tale-y. All the routes have names. They just did like a bunch of very like nice little changes that like summed up a very good thing. And I've been talking about this now
long time
for 38 minutes.
Like 4 times as long as my review.
Yeah.
Go on my review website. It's nice to the point.
I used to write game reviews for a living. I'm
Whatever,
allowed. Yeah, I mean,
what do you give it?
I'm not even done.
Oh, okay.
I think that as far as like graphics go, that they were very, very ambitious, and it's sort of the same thing. Like they were very forward-looking with the graphics. They tried to do like you know, really next-gen looking stuff. But
it did make the 3D lag a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Like it really kind of hurt the game in some ways. I would have been fine with like a little bit worse graphics if it made the game run smoother. It's a very big game for the 3DS, but it's got like a good sense of humor. The writing is really good. The music is very, very excellent.
Yeah.
If you have a chance to pick up the soundtrack, you should. Considering all of that, I would give Pokemon X and Y a 7 out of 10.
All right. Sounds good.
7 out of 10, but if you've never played Pokemon before, I would insist that you buy it.
Right, because it's very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
But as like veterans of the Pokemon series,
there's a lot of good stuff about it. There's a lot of like not bad stuff, but
and
just
gosh, doing this whole vlog has like really made me like examine the game like in a way that I've never examined a Pokemon game like that before. So be interesting to go through the other ones, but we're not going to do that.
Yeah. Do I love the game myself personally?
Absolutely.
As a guy who loves Pokemon? Like
Absolutely.
100 times. I have gotten more out of this game than most people will, but I still give it a 7. I don't think that you should think that that's a bad review, which is the thing that happens sometimes when you give something a 7. People are like, where's my 10? Where's my 9? A 7 is an excellent review for something.
I don't think I've ever given any game a 10. I'm not a game journalist, mind you.
Metal Gear Solid 3, 10 out of 10.
All right.
Yeah. So that's it. So we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back next time with like a sort of like post game episode or 2. I'm not sure exactly how long. And if you guys have stuff that you'd like us to open or like talk about, at the end of all of these episodes, there's an address, and you can send stuff to us there, and we will do like a video about it if you guys want to send us some stuff.
True.
So send us some stuff. We'll open it right in front of you, and it'll be like a fun little mailbag video that we could do to like sign this out as like a sort of like little fan appreciation thing. So if you want to write us a letter or send us a cool thing or whatever, that'd be nice. Yeah, you know, if you want us to sign something, you know, send it in and we'll sign it. Or if you want us,
that's true.
if there's something you really want to say to us, like write it in a letter and we'll read it for sure.
Yeah. Because it's hard because there's like the Facebook, there's the comments, there's like so many different ways of like throwing your like comment out to us, and it's hard to get to them all. So we don't often see them all.
And everybody who has ever sent us something, like thank you so much, and it's all so cool. And so we really appreciate it. So yeah. With that,
thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you next time for post game stuff. There's some pretty fun things. I think we're gonna go through a couple of different neat stuffs.
Yeah, we'll talk about the legendaries, and we'll talk about like a few
mega stones and stuff.
Few side quests, few mega stones. Maybe there'll be like 2 or 3 episodes. Well, maybe there might be like a little bit more.
Yeah, because there's quite a bit.
We'll see. We'll plan it out, but it'll be a few. So with that, bye.
Goodbye. Next time.